What would you do if your little sister's teacher called her stupid? My little sister Ava has always marched to her own beat. She's smart, creative, and a little spacey. Diagnosed with ADH, sure, but far from dumb. The world just moves differently in her head. But apparently, that didn't sit well with her 4th grade teacher, Mrs. Liddell. From the moment Ava stepped into her classroom, she became a target. Eye rolls, snide comments, sarcastic corrections in front of the class. But things hit a breaking point when Ava came home crying, clutching a math worksheet like it had insulted her family. When I asked her what was wrong, she whispered, "Mrs. Liddell said I should stop asking dumb questions, that I'm probably not cut out for real school." I nearly saw red. Turns out Ava had raised her hand to ask for help. The teacher responded, in front of the class, mind you, by saying, "You'd understand if you weren't so slow." A few kids laughed. One even called her Space Cadet Ava on the playground the next day. My parents reported it to the principal, who gave a robotic apology and said they'd monitor the situation, but that was it. Ava still had to face her bully with a chalkboard 5 days a week, so I took over, because I've got a long memory and internet access. I started digging into Mrs. Liddell's background, socials, Yelp, LinkedIn, everything, and it didn't take long before her polished Teacher of the Year act started to crack. She ran a private tutoring service on the side, high-paying, discreet. But what really caught my eye was a thread on a local parenting forum. A few anonymous parents claimed Liddell was doing something beyond unethical. She was purposely failing kids during class, so she could upsell tutoring to desperate parents. One mother even claimed her daughter's homework was mysteriously graded down until she agreed to pay for after-hours help. Another said Liddell told her son he'd never catch up unless his parents got extra support, from her, of course, at $75 an hour. Disgusting. I created a fake parent account, posing as someone worried their son was falling behind. I told her I had money to spare if she could help my kid raise his grade. She responded almost instantly, but then she said something wild. She offered to soften the classroom workload for my son, her own student, if I booked 5 sessions up front. She even said, "It's easier to push kids toward a C if I know they'll make it up outside class." Translation: she was intentionally tanking kids' performance so she could sell the solution. I saved every message. Then I pretended to be another parent, this time saying I couldn't afford tutoring. She coldly replied, "I wouldn't expect your son to get beyond a D then, just being honest." I was ready to blow the whole thing up, but I found one more thing that made my skin crawl. Liddell had been recommending certain kids be put into the school's remedial track, basically academic isolation, for the next year. I found her teacher comments in a school file Ava accidentally brought home. She'd written that Ava struggled with basic comprehension and should be considered for alternative instruction. She wasn't just mean, she was ruining futures for profit. So I compiled everything. Screenshots of the tutoring messages, her offer to change grades, the parent testimonies, even a side-by-side of students' grades before and after their parents paid up. I made a full dossier, anonymous, and sent it to the school board, the PTA, and a local education watchdog blog that loved stories like this. It exploded within a week. Mrs. Liddell was suspended pending investigation, but it didn't stop there. The parents who had paid came forward with receipts. The district had to issue a statement. Ava's school scrambled to contain the PR disaster, and Mrs. Liddell, she resigned for personal reasons 2 days before they were going to fire her publicly. My sister was transferred to a different class. Her new teacher sends her home with positive notes and smiley faces on her math quizzes. She's laughing again, confident, unafraid to raise her hand. She still doesn't know what really happened, but I do. Because if you make a child feel stupid to line your pockets, you don't deserve to teach. You deserve to be taught a lesson you'll never forget.